They're champions, Pro Bowlers, heroes to millions. But long before they entered the NFL, they faced tougher opponents.
I got bullied, I got called names, I got picked on because I excelled in school.
You know, I was picked on daily. I got off the bus and walked for a nice bit to make sure no one seen me go in the Salvation Army.
Before they were superstars, they battled prejudice, bullying, and discrimination.
You know, just to see that she had to go through that kind of pain, already dealing with her cancer, to have to be discriminated against. I remember just weeping openly.
Dealing with the racism, dealing with people making fun of her names, it's definitely something that stuck with me.
Each struggled with being different because of race, poverty, ambition, and even illness.
When my mom had her wig on, you know, she'd be bald and people would have those stares, you know, like, ugh, what's wrong with her?
I honestly didn't know how I could adapt, but now I'm happy to be different.
Now these 4 NFL stars are sharing their incredible stories with young people facing some of the same challenges.
At a point in my life where I was homeless. You know, I lived in a homeless shelter, me and my family.
It's like going the same thing with me, too.
In hopes of teaching them that you don't have to strap on a helmet to be a hero.
No matter what you do, no matter who you are, you don't deserve to be bullied or picked on.
Tonight, you'll see these NFL stars touch the lives of some very special young people and help promote greater tolerance, respect, and acceptance.
I had some small part of bringing a smile to a kid's face. That's a lot more important than me in sacking quarterbacks or anything like that.
Larry Fitzgerald is one of the most graceful and gifted wide receivers to ever play the game. But personal tragedy almost grounded him before he even had a chance to soar in the NFL.
I was 13 years old when my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer. I remember just weeping openly. I felt like somebody had took the air out of me, and so I was really broken.
It was hard enough for Larry to know that his mother had cancer. But it was even worse to witness how terribly she was treated because of her illness.
We would go out to dinner and I see my mom touch the door handle, and you would see people like put their sleeve over their hand to grab the door as if like it was cancer was gonna be rubbed off on the door handle like it was a germ. Or, you know, when she didn't have her wig on, you know, she would be bald and people would have those stares, you know, like, ugh, what's wrong with her? And my mother passed away in 2003. It was a really emotional time. I grew my hair out to honor my mother. You know, every day I look at myself in the mirror, you know, it gives me inspiration. And it's my silent tribute to try to honor her.
As an 8-year-old, I had no idea what cancer was. I haven't even heard that word before. Well, I was diagnosed with brain cancer, and one of the tumors was wrapped around my cerebellum.
Where they tell you that your child has tumors in her head. Your whole world changes. Her chances of coming through surgery were only 20%. When she came through, she couldn't walk, she couldn't see, she couldn't speak, she couldn't feed herself, she couldn't do anything.
I pretty much had to relearn everything. It was a fight to continue my life. People would give me kind of a rough time about how I looked, criticize the way I'm walking weirdly, and I would really take it to heart.
It was brutal how older people, not so much kids, but older people would point at her. Family members were also kind of leery, and that was really hard to deal with because you just kind of want to, you know, shake an adult and say, how could you be so mean?
On a very difficult day, Natalee gets a surprise visit at the wellness community, where she and others affected by cancer connect to get support, education, and hope.
Today is a special anniversary. It's actually when I was diagnosed.
When I hear about somebody dealing with cancer, my heart drops. When I got a chance to read about Natalee and her willingness to stand up and continue to fight even against all odds, you know, I felt compelled to meet her. Hi.
Hi.
Hi, how you doing?
Hi.
I'm Larry.
Hi.
It's pleasure to see you. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic.
When Larry Fitzgerald came in, I was kind of overwhelmed. I didn't expect him to be there. I was really surprised, actually.
It's a gorgeous day.
Yeah.
Would you be up for a little walk?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. First impressions can be deceiving at times because if you see Natalee, you see a young lady that has a few battle scars. But if you only look at her exterior, then you're gonna miss out on what's best about her, and that's what's inside of her. My mother struggled with cancer, eventually passed away. I remember the way people would look at her with that look of, something's not right. Do you ever get those kind of looks?
Honestly, people look at me and they think something's wrong with me. It was a hard concept for an 8-year-old to understand. It's still kind of a hard concept for a 17-year-old to understand. I kind of did have this feeling of, people are judging me, and I don't know if I can take this. There was one time when me and my mom, we were walking to our car, and then there was this mom and this girl, and she looked at me and turned to her mom and said, "What's wrong with that girl? Why is she bald?" And I was stunned, because this was at a point where I felt great about myself. And that made me rethink it all.
I could really sympathize with her, to see that she had to go through that kind of pain, already dealing with such a tough deal with her cancer, to have to be discriminated against. That was a tough pill for me to swallow today.
I did kind of fall into a sadness, and my dad came to me and he said, "Natalee, I love you, and you're the sun of my shine. You're beautiful," and after that, that really put in my mind that I can do this.
That's the same thing that I saw with my mom, is the things that made her happy were things that her kids did to her or my father would do for her, and it really affected her. And, I wanted to be able to do something to help her.
Larry decides to share his passion for photography with Natalee and show her one way to uncover the beauty that lies in people and the world.
I feel it's an organic experience that allows you to be creative and be able to express yourself. So this is my camera here, and I take this all around the world with me. And I also brought my scrapbooks from, my experiences around the world.
The photos that he showed me, they were very good. I don't think I've ever seen pictures like that.
So this is like in Japan here, taking pictures of the city at night. A few sumo wrestlers at practice. Yeah, your description of beauty might be different than my description of beauty, and we can take a picture of the same exact thing and view it totally different. Well, I was interested to see if you want to go walk around and shoot a little bit.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, I'll give you a quick tutorial. For a beginner, you want to just keep it on the green box right there. That takes care of all the lighting. Just turn it on, take the lens cover off. Let's take a walk around back and see if we can find anybody to shoot. All right. I didn't have a camera as a youngster, and I just thought that photography, that would help Natalee cope with the discrimination. And hopefully she can actually make people feel better about themselves. You get better with every shot.
It actually worked. Cool. We kind of wandered around the wellness community.
Getting close like you know each other.
Taking pictures of other patients. It was really fun for everyone, actually.
You take the first shot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Smile. You guys look good. Would you like to see your picture? Yeah, I'm kind of new at this, so
You
cut me
are
right.
doing a great job. Thank
All right.
It gives her not only a new way to look at herself, but also a means to help others like her.
Thank you, Grace. You got a beautiful smile.
When I looked at my photo, I thought I didn't have cancer anymore.
It's really an awesome experience that they're related to get the picture. That's a perfect example of photography of what it can actually do.
Yeah.
After spending the afternoon taking pictures, Larry gives Natalee a lasting gift, as well as a mission.
I got that camera. You can keep it under one condition,
And what condition is that?
that you'll practice and you'll use it as a tool to combat discrimination.
I think I can do that.
Good, we got a deal then.
Good hug. I feel like we connected on so many levels. And I believe when I get the opportunity, I can take pictures of people and show them, you're beautiful.
Yeah, it looks good. I'm gonna have to have you come over to our house and do some.
Photography is definitely a tool to help other patients see things they otherwise wouldn't see.
You know, I've had the honor of playing with some really, really tough guys who play with broken bones and torn ligaments, but I don't know if I've ever met anybody as tough as her. She's got a lot to offer this world, and as she grows older, she's gonna give a lot more to this world than she ever took.